and Bowie Jane. Hello, it's Bowie Jane and Jess Bowen for Babes Behind the Beats, and welcome to our little chinwag. G'day, Jess.
Good day. Welcome to the chinwag, everyone. Our favorite part of our day and our podcast. Well, no, we like having the guests on, but we love doing the little chinwags before so we can kind of catch up and chat with each other.
Yeah, that's right. I can't wait for today's guest. So we've got Patty Ann Miller, who's a drummer, and you know her, don't you?
I do know her. The female drumming community, like we all kind of know each other or know of each other, I would say. But with Patty, I was wrapping my head around when I met her. Her and I were auditioning, actually, for Zayn Malik, formerly of One Direction. Yeah. Someone had emailed me about it the night before, and they actually didn't say his name, but then we figured out who it was because we all knew that Zayn had left One Direction. And the person that emailed me was like, we can't say the name. We'll let you know he was just in one of the biggest boy bands of all time. And it was like, well, that was a dead giveaway. And so...
The night before?
Yes.
What's that about? Oh.
I know that he for sure wanted a female drummer at the time. That was what was said in the email that was sent to me. And so, again, this is how I ended up seeing Patty. I knew of her because, again, the drumming community, the female drumming community, like in LA, everyone kind of knows everyone. But I didn't talk to her at all that day. Anyways, I had messaged her later on Instagram and was like, hey, saw you at the audition today. Didn't want to bother you, but just wanted to say, hi, my name's Jess, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh shit, hey. And I guess maybe she might have to figure out if she did know of me at all. I might be like, she knew who I was too. No, probably not.
And she'll be like, sorry, who am I doing the interview?
Yeah, she's like, and who is this again?
I know Bowie Jane, but not Jess Bowen.
She's like, never heard of you. Female drummer? She's so sweet. She's an incredible, phenomenal. Bowie, I'm not kidding you, I will not sit down on a drum kit next to her because I would just be put to shame.
But you're phenomenal, so this is a big statement.
Thanks, Bowie. I owe you money again. But no, seriously, this girl is fucking incredible. But anyways, going back to that day that I met her, speaking of that Zayn audition, it was one of the craziest experiences of my life and also the most nerve-wracking thing. I was still in my band, the Somerset at the time, but I had gotten this call to do this audition, which I couldn't turn down. So they all knew I was doing it, but I get there, first of all, one of my in-ears wasn't working. So already I felt like I had a disadvantage because I had, one in-ear not working and the other one was working. You're only hearing out of one ear. Before you get in the audition room, you sit in this big room with a bunch of people. You're just sitting there waiting for your name to be called, and they're playing the same song over and over again by the artist that you're about to audition for. It's this new song, which at the time, obviously everyone knows it now, it was Pillow Talk. The massive song, his first single that came out, that was the song that we were all being played. I heard that song for 4.5 hours before I got in the audition room. You're just hearing it over and over and over and over again in your head.
And are you sitting in the room with all the other girls auditioning?
All the other people, yeah. So you've got 50 to 70 people that are coming in and out of this room, and you're just in this big room waiting, listening to this song. They put you in a room with all these random musicians, so it's no one that I knew at all, and then you just have to play the song. They're like, all right, here you go. You've got the music director in there. All right, everyone ready? Here comes the track. You hear it in your ears, and then you just have to play.
And you hadn't heard this song before, apart from 4 hours in the waiting room?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing is I actually didn't know because I've never done that audition process before, which obviously would make sense that you're listening to the song a million times because they're not sending you this track. They can't send you a track that hasn't been released yet.
Course.
And it's a huge artist that's about to release his solo career, but no one knows about it. So they just play it for you. They take your phones and everything away so that you can't record it or anything like that.
Wow. I was just thinking that someone could have recorded it.
Yeah, no, they take your phone away. If you want your phone, you have to go up to the front desk, the person who holds on to it, and you have to go outside. So then you get a certain amount of time that you can be on the phone, but you can't be in the room, obviously, because then you could be recording it. I'll be completely honest with you. I feel like I completely blew the audition. It was my first time doing something like that. It was my first time hearing the song. I was playing with a bunch of different musicians. Yes, it sounds like I'm making a bunch of excuses, probably. But
no, I mean, probably everyone blew it, really.
It is just a nerve-wracking experience. So that's why I'm interested to ask Patty if she's used to doing that. I think she's more in that world than I am. She does huge gigs for all these different people. And she was playing with CeeLo Green at the time. And so she was there with her CeeLo Green bandmates because CeeLo Green had an all-female band, Patty being the drummer, and then all these other girls in the band as well as his musicians. And so so Patty was there with all those other females as well. To my knowledge, from what I remember, was they auditioned together in the room.
Like as a, here's the band.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness to you, you had been with one band that whole time. Obviously, if you did it now, it'd be a completely different story because you've played with so many bands now.
Now I'm used to it.
At the time, you were the Somerset.
Yeah, exactly. And even with the artists that I play with today, I'll be honest with you, with Alice, I didn't even really have to audition. They kind of just wanted to meet me to see if I was a good hang and I was cool. And that I got the gig. And then with Tessa, it was, again, she had like a phone call with me. We met up once to kind of like play together, but it didn't feel like an audition. Whereas this was very much like, okay, you're in competition with all these other people around you. Yeah, learn this song right now and play it in a couple hours with a bunch of strangers. I remember being so stressed during that. But you know what? It's one of those things that it's just cool that I had that experience to do it, you know?
Oh, totally. I mean, that's pretty big. And one in-ear working.
And Zane happened to be in the room during my audition. So that also freaked me out because if you're sitting here in front of all like huge label people, obviously, that work for him, maybe his management as well, the music director, who was also the music director for Adele.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah. I mean, I even kind of forget about it to this day. But then when I think about it, I'm like, you know what? That was really fucking cool that I got to go in and audition for Zayn Malik, who hadn't even announced his solo career yet. No one had heard that Pillow Talk song. I was just there for like that process. And I think that's really cool. And that's something to just be appreciative that I was even in the room to do it. So
this is 100% again why living in LA, because they call you the night before.
That's exactly what it was.
This happens all the time. Can you do this tomorrow? Like,
yep.
If you don't live here, I don't know how anyone can do it.
Yeah, I would have been driving from Arizona like overnight and then would have been exhausted by the time I got to the audition. But I mean, I would have done it regardless, you know. But yeah, being in LA, it was helpful. And it's definitely one of those things, like you said, you kind of have to be here for things. So
yeah, I can't wait to chat with her then, because it's going to be interesting to see her perspective of that same audition.
I know. I cannot wait to talk to her. And she's played for some amazing people. Like I mentioned, she played with CeeLo Green. She's now playing with Quinn 92, who's actually one of my favorite artists at the moment. So I'm excited to talk about that. She's done commercials. She's just recently been in a movie featured as a drummer, a cavewoman drummer named Grom. She's in Bill and Ted Face the Music, which just came out this year. I mean, she's doing huge things. She played with Beyonce at the Super Bowl. Tell us about Beyonce. We need to know about Beyonce. Yeah.
That's all we want to know. No, not really. Yeah.
No, but seriously, I'm so excited to talk to her and pick her brain about all this stuff. She's incredible. She's just literally, when I say she's probably the best drummer I have seen, male or female, I will say, hands down. So let's get her on the line and let's do this.
And guess who we have now after chatting about her and being so excited to have her on the show? We have Patty Ann Miller, the world-famous drummer. Yeah!
And the crowd goes wild. Yes, I love it. Thank you for being here, Patty. We're so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I was just talking to Bowie right before you got on about when we officially met. The time that I remember, and I don't know if you remember this, was when we had both been at that audition for the Zayn Malik. Yeah, that's what you remember, right?
Yep. That was it.
That was the one.
When we met.
And I messaged you, I think, on Instagram afterwards because I was like, oh, I didn't like say hi or anything, but like, you're amazing.
Yeah, we both had like the same type of vibe about one another. You know, you had really great energy, and I'm glad we connected and got to meet at that time. That was cool.
That was really cool.
Patty, was it your first time, or you done heaps of these kind of auditions before?
I've done auditions like that before, but I just feel like for the most part, I've had a gig that lasted long. So I didn't have to do too many auditions when it was time to auditions because maybe that season ended and it was time to go on to the next. Exactly. I love that. And if there was like a little one-off that fit in between, cool. That it was kind of like a word of mouth. You know, there wasn't really an audition. It was just like, hey, are you available? Sure.
Right.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Exactly. I was telling Bowie that because it was my first time doing that kind of style of an audition, I guess, because I'm used to just, and I'm sure you are too, you're used to just kind of getting hit up, being like, hey, are you free? Then you learn the songs and then you sit and then you play with these people, right? So
I don't think it was like all female because there was guys auditioning as well.
Yeah. So see, I didn't know that till I got there. The email I got was that he was looking for a female band. And then the second I showed up and there was like, half the room were girls and half were guys.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Didn't he end up with a male drummer?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
He did.
Yeah. So,
well, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit. Neither Patty or I got the fucking gig. not happy.
Like, what the hell?
What the
It's
fuck?
all good. It wasn't meant. That's kind of how I go about life. You show up, you do your part, and if it's meant, it's going to happen. If not, move on. So
Right.
I just say, Patty, just go in there, have fun, do your best, do you. And whatever the results are, whether it's positive or, you didn't get it, you did your best, and great job, Patty. Move on.
So this was in LA. How long have you lived in LA for?
10 years. September. It was around, what is that, Labor Day? It was around that time I moved here 10 years ago.
On your own, or why did you move here?
With Berklee, I had to complete a internship.
Just to explain, you were on a full scholarship at Berklee, weren't you?
Yes.
Which is unbelievable anyway.
She just failed to mention that. No, I'm kidding. We should mention that. Let's mention that the reason is because she got a full scholarship to the Berklee School of Music, which is fucking incredible.
That was definitely a blessing for sure. Just a real backstory to how I got the scholarship. I was working at Guitar Center. There was a guy that came in. He was a sergeant. He came up to me because I was fooling around. I wasn't really working. I was fooling around on the drum kit. And he came up to me. He was like, you're really, really good. What are you doing with your life? Pretty much straight up like that. I was like, huh? Okay. He basically said, are you going to school for drums? And do you want to go to school for drums? And I was like, no. I said, I don't really feel like I need to go to school for drums. I wanted to do music business, and I was thinking about going to Full Sail in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally different route. Kind of looked at me. We ended the conversation. And he actually called my job the next day, and he was like, look, I couldn't get you out of my mind. He kind of brought a spiritual factor into it. He's like, I feel like God wants me to put you on the right track. And he said, there's an opportunity with Berklee, and they're having auditions for the scholarship. So I was like, cool, I'll do it. The rest is kind of history. I did it and got the full tuition scholarship. And I'm so grateful to him. He was kind of like a guardian angel in a way.
Was he in the music business or...
He was a sergeant in the Air Force. He's a drummer himself, but I think he did music as well in the Air Force. So it's kind of crazy because Berklee kind of set me up to move into LA, and just everything that's happened in my life has been because of that one decision of doing the audition, and it kind of changed my life.
Do you still talk to this guy?
Yeah, it's actually crazy because I actually reconnected with him recently. I was like, I have to find this guy. I tell this story all the time, and we connected, and it was so great. And he's like, I'm just so proud of you, and we're Facebook friends now.
Oh my God, cute. I love that.
Yeah, it sucks because it's COVID, but when everything kind of clears up, next time I have a show in Boston, I'm definitely going to invite him to the show.
That's so cool. That's incredible. That's a great story to tell.
Yeah.
And what was the course like? How many years is it? And is it a lot of theory, or for people who might not know about the course?
We had general education as well. And then you had your theory classes. You had to have a private lesson teacher. It was 9 classes a semester. I was like, what the?
Whoa.
What the? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was crying my first semester. I was like, oh my God, this is so great.
What have I done?
Oh my God, this is insane. But you know what? It was like, okay, let's go. You got to just kind of adapt and get your feet wet. And so after the first semester, you work really hard. And of course, I had to really stay on top of my grades because I had the scholarship. And you met all these people around the world. I have 2 of my best friends that I've met from Berklee, and it was just a great experience. It was pretty wild in college.
Did you already know how to read music and all that, or was this something that they taught you at Berklee? So did you learn there, or was it more of feeling it?
It's always been feeling for me. Ever since I started playing, always been the feel coming from the heart, the band in high school and middle school and elementary. So of course doing the snare music, but it's so funny because it got to the point where I think I memorized, I could read the notes, but it got to the point where I just memorized the beat and just, I was just playing. I wasn't even looking at the music, and then growing up in church, we didn't have sheet music. We just listened to the music and then we just played, and just from the heart, and we just vibed off the other musicians. So at Berklee, the theory was insane because I was like, okay, some people learn music first. People who are really good at reading music, sometimes it's hard for them to kind of play from their heart, right?
Yes,
they're just used to, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, okay. But, I learned, I got through the classes, the theory classes, and theory at Berklee for sure.
Yeah. after Berklee, okay, I saw that you were doing, or you were on So You Think You Can Dance. Were you dancing then before you really got into full-on professional drumming?
Yeah, dancing has always been a part of my life. I was dancing before I even started playing drums. So it's kind of like the rhythm is just within me. It just started to come out on a different, I'll say, energy, which is on drums, which was when I was 10. So when I moved to LA, I wanted to act, I wanted to dance, I wanted to drum. There were so many things I wanted to do. Yes, and that was it. First year, I ended up doing So You Think You Can Dance, and that was a great experience. I loved it. It was fun. And then after that, I was like, okay, do I get more into dancing or do I try and act? And I had to really kind of think about it because I felt like I had to really focus on one thing because you can't do too many things at once because you need something that has 100% of your attention to really push forward. You know, I think around 3 years in, I said, okay, I need to focus on drums. That's probably my strongest suit. And so that's when I started to dive in, doing little rinky-dink gigs, just getting myself out there. And
what was it inside that made you think that's what I want to do above everything else?
Well, there was a little incident, but I have no idea what happened to my wrist. It was so bad that I could not bend. Oh my God, like I can't play drums. I think at that point I had like this epiphany, like, am I taking this gift for granted? I prayed. I was like, oh my God, like please help my hand. I promise I will focus on drums. And so everything pretty much worked out because they were talking about surgery on my hand, but that didn't happen, thank God. And so I meant that. I was like, God, I will focus on drums. And that's what I did. So I focused on drums. That's led me down the path of connecting me to all of my heart's desires. So 2013 is when I started to really focus on that. Rinky-dink gigs, like $20 here and there, trying to connect and network and put myself out there. And then within that year, 2014 is when I got the Celo gig. That was my first major gig. And
that's
everything.
Huge.
Yeah. Connection is like when you put yourself out there and then you start to meet people, then it's like, okay, cool. I met this person and that person connected me with that. And that's just kind of how it went. But I needed that year to get myself back into the groove because I wasn't really focusing on drumming like that. And I had like a 9-to-5 job, which took a lot of my time. And I quit that actually to pursue drums, which was insane.
Before you had Celo Gig, you quit your day job so that you could focus?
Yeah, I quit. I'm going to dedicate myself 1000% to drums. And everything worked out. It wasn't easy, obviously, but I definitely got through it. And the universe pretty much had my back because I was stepping out on faith and believing that this is what I was supposed to be doing. So that's what I did. It's led me to where I am now.
When you made that decision, what were you doing to practice for maybe some upcoming drummers who might want to know?
I was annoying my neighbors and playing drums in my bedroom. Like
Jess knows about that.
I'm actually grateful because that apartment, the manager actually allowed me to play. That was an agreement when I first moved there. He's like, you can play your drums? Yeah. He was so cool. He was so cool. Otherwise, the other players like, no, you cannot play drums. I'm sorry. I'm like, ugh. But this particular place, he was like, just don't play too late.
You were in an apartment complex in LA and you were able to play your drums.
Yes.
Where is this place? Because I need to move there now.
It was in Sherman Oaks, was like the first place that I lived. And this guy was so cool. I'm so grateful to him because that was just really helpful. Kind of like on your struggle. Like I couldn't really afford renting out. Some people have a place where they store their drums so they can play. I couldn't afford that at that time. So I was really grateful. I was banging away. I just practiced. For me, it was more so just getting involved in little bands and playing, continuously playing. That's how I feel like you really learn is when you gigs, just got out there and really experience other musicians and playing off energy. And what if the energy's not there? What do? You have to kind of tap into yourself and pull it out because some gigs, there were like 3 people, and it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Starting out,
Actually, I love that tapping into your own energy. That is so true, isn't it? Jess, you'd find that as well when some gigs just don't fly as much as other gigs. So
but there's just certain times in certain places where sometimes the crowd does not care. You have to win them over. So you have to find ways to do that. And so, it is like tapping into your own energy, which everyone, if you haven't yet, you have to check out Patty because your energy is incredible. I cannot not get hyped when I see videos of you playing because not are you just the best drummer I've ever seen, but you are so fucking fun to watch and you add your own flair. You are just amazing. You are. I idolize you.
She was saying this before. So she was like, honestly, she's the best drum I've ever seen.
Aww.
I will not sit down on a drum kit next to you because I would
stop it.
There's no way.
We would have so much fun. We would just rock out together. It would be a blast.
We'd have fun. I would just play a very simple beat and let you do all the flashy, amazing shit that you do. I'd be like, here's a two, on the 2 and the 4. Yeah, okay. Kick on the 1 and the 3. Perfect. Now you do what you need to do.
Oh my God. We definitely have to shed once everything kind of settles down. I don't even know.
I've got a lot to learn from you for sure.
We can learn from one another. That's the thing. You know,
I
can learn from you. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Definitely.
But yeah. And so getting back to that, kind of tapping into your energy and on stage and all that stuff. Again, when I was watching videos of you, even with CeeLo, all have an amazing energy on stage. Are these people that you had jammed with a lot before you guys all started with CeeLo, or you all just got together when you got that gig?
Let me see. Okay, the MD, I played with him before, and I played with the keyboardist before. There was that. But everybody else, the guitarists and the basses, we just clicked. It was, oh my God, I love those girls so much. Oh, it was like the best. Badass females killing it. And then
for sure,
CeeLo, he has this energy where it's just like, it's like, God. So when we hit, especially when we got to rock out on some songs, it was intense. I was like, oh. And then I would do little off beats. Once you get comfortable with the gig and fool around. So I would do off beats and Ashley on bass, she would go with me. It was just such a vibe. It was so good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They're just my faves. Those are my girls for life. Right. And we just became sisters. And
how good's that when you gel?
It was just great.
How long were you guys playing together then? How many years did you guys do that together?
It was about almost 2 years. They got another, then CeeLo switched his bands. But then I kind of extended where I got called out to do a couple more gigs with him. But it was just me with the other band. So yeah.
Okay.
I still talk to CeeLo. He's cool. He's
that's awesome.
Fam. Yeah. He's great. He's a genius. I love that man. He's all about the truth and just being real. Don't mess with him.
That's great.
I think we prefer that.
So what did you do after the CeeLo gig? Who did you start touring with after that?
So after that, there wasn't really any touring. It was more so spot dates with different artists. Oh, well, there was Zara Larsson, right?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I did a promo tour for her that was really short.
I think everyone knows who she is, but just in case I don't, she does vocals on a lot of dance tracks, but she may have done other stuff. But she's Swedish, right?
Yeah, she's broken records with that song, Never Forget You. It was crazy. Yeah, we did a lot of fun shows.
Did you do the Tonight Show?
Yep, we did that. We had a lot of fun, man. It was cool. When I transitioned from CeeLo, that's when I started to get into commercials. Yeah, so.
How did that happen, the commercials thing?
You sign up for LA casting, got my headshots. And from there, I did get a proper agent. And I was submitting myself at first, and then I got an agent. So that was also a source of income and something that I've always wanted to be on TV since I was a kid, doing commercials.
Were you acting in them, or were you playing drums? Were they commercials where they wanted drummers?
I was playing drums. That's why I was saying my drumming, focusing on that, has connected me to all my heart's desires. I've always wanted to do commercials, and I wanted to always be in movies. But in movies, I do want to obviously, yeah, it's cool to do the drumming on movies or a TV show, but I would like to also do some other type of role where there's not really drums involved as well.
You're a hardcore performer, really. You just love performing in any aspect. But isn't it cool that drumming's brought all these things to you, really? And it's true. Focus on one thing and then the other stuff will come.
Yeah, I've said your passions are connected to your heart, and your heart is the compass to your ultimate destiny. So I feel if you follow those passions and you follow your heart, it will lead you down the line of where you're supposed to be eventually.
Wow.
Because you have then been on Bill and Ted's recently, right? You weren't just on it as a drummer, like you're a principal, right?
I had a principal role, and I was Grom, came from 10,000 BCE. My hair looked crazy. I was dirty. I don't know what I had. It was definitely a real animal on me, though. They had to make what they thought a drum set would look like back then. So it was lambskin, skulls. I was playing with bones.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was so much fun. I had to really practice on that to kind of figure out, okay, how am I going to do this? There's no kick pedal, So I was kind of stomping my foot to kind of keep that kind of foundation of the rhythm. And then I was just obviously just kind of playing on the skulls and the skins and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun, man.
So they really used that sound, like the skins that you were playing for the sound in the movie.
Yeah, that was like my rhythm, my beat. They enhanced it with some like cool sound on top of it, but that was me.
Wow.
That was my whole rhythm and sound and all that. So it was really cool. And they were really happy with it because they honestly weren't sure how that was going to come out because it's not a real kit. It's something they made. It was a prop that they created. So they were like, oh my God, Patty, we're just so happy that you made this thing sound good. And I was like, oh, yay.
I mean, again, that just shows how incredible you are that you can play on anything and make it sound great. It's like
skulls and bones. And...
Yeah, Patty's really good on the skull, I've heard.
Oh my God.
That's so good.
It was wild. But that was a really awesome first experience on set. Obviously, it's like a high-end movie. It's a trilogy from a classic trilogy.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted. And I was just, I like freaked out. I was freaking crying. I knew that when I got that DM, because I was found on Instagram, I knew when the casting agency reached out to me, and I know, of course, they reached out to other female drummers, but I knew it was mine. It was just set in my heart. I was like, oh my God, this is mine. It's time, Patty. Yeah. And so I did the whole process. Obviously, I had to do like a self-tape and all that. They picked me and I was out the next day, flying out to New Orleans. It was divinely orchestrated. And this is why I tell people to just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. Do not rush it because when it's time, it's time. You can't get upset when things don't happen when you want them to happen. You have to just say, okay, you know what? It may not be time right now, but I'm going to still keep pushing in that direction. And when it's time, it'll be time. But prep yourself, get ready, prepare yourself to be in position to be ready for those opportunities. And it was time and it happened. And I was like, wow, okay, Patty, the drums have been connecting you to all your heart's desires. I'm just so grateful, man. I'm not stopping. I don't know what's next, but I know it's going to be connected to my heart.
Well, it sounds like you put it out into the universe, you manifested it, you've got the right attitude for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a vision board, like you said, I'm all about manifesting my dreams or just kind of already seeing myself there. The book, The Secret. I don't know if you heard of The Secret.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm all about that law of attraction, but also putting the action behind it.
For sure.
It's crazy how many things have come to fruition that's been on my vision board. So
wow.
It's like, you know what you want to do. Okay, cool. You also have to feel it. Your thoughts and feelings have to also connect because we have I don't even know how many thoughts a day, but it's like the thoughts and the feelings that really connect that are strong and that you really believe. That's the energy that you're putting out there. It's like kind of like that thing when something bad happens, you can tell there's an energy in your stomach. Oh my God, this is not good. When you're something great happens and you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy. You feel that joy within yourself, right? So when you have a thought or if there's something that you want to do, you have to connect those feelings with those thoughts and then also set yourself up and put yourself in those positions or do whatever you need to do that makes sense. You have to live that lifestyle that makes sense with that vision that you want to happen for yourself. You can't just sit there. That's kind of basically what I've been doing. It's been a journey.
It's amazing.
I love it.
All right. So I know that you probably get this question all the time, but we want to know about when you performed with Beyonce at the Super Bowl in 2016. That's insane, incredible. That's I think isn't that the most watched broadcast on television of all time or something?
Millions. Yes. With Bruno Mars and Coldplay.
That's right. It was Coldplay and Bruno Mars. That's right. How did that happen? How did you get that?
Again, I swear, I think one of the most important things is networking. Tony Royster actually texted me. He was like, yo, he couldn't tell me what the gig was, NDAs and all that. He was like, yo, trust me, you're going to want to do this. He's like, what's your email? And I'm going to send it over to the musical director and trust me, you're gonna want to do. I was like, okay, cool. So they didn't say what the gig was for. So we didn't know that it was for the Super Bowl until everybody got picked. And then we signed the NDA and it was like, okay, so we're doing the Super Bowl. What? This is insane. I was like, this is amazing. So we did 3 weeks of rehearsals. Beyonce, I have to say, she is a hard worker. She has so many hats. She's the camera angle is going to be like this at this part. She controls everything. That if she kind of does some type of lick and wink in the camera, she set that up. She knew that,
Wow.
I'm not surprised, I have to say. With her, I would have thought she'd be...
I'm not surprised at all by that.
Virgo perfectionist. And she was there rehearsing just with all the dancers, and she was really sweet. She was really nice, very appreciative of everybody. And yeah, man, after 3 weeks, man, going on that field, you know how you do the sound check? I was like, this is insane. Just that feeling of being out there on the field, knowing this is for the Super Bowl, knowing that so many people are going to be tuning in. And then like there's Bruno Mars and there's Coldplay. And I'm like, this is happening. Wow.
Yeah.
I have a video of me, and I was like, right before, I guess some guy, he actually snuck a camera, and he was like filming right before we were walking onto the field. I was like standing there, and I kept tapping on like the rim. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I had so much energy. I have to show you the clip. I was so amped.
We want to post that, actually. We should post that on Instagram.
Yeah, I want that clip so we can post it when we release your episode.
Yeah, I'll show you. It has all of us like walking on, and you see Beyonce, you see the dancers, and it was just such a overwhelming, amazing experience. I want to do the Super Bowl again one more time, but the next time I want to be on set.
On actual drums, right? You were playing a snare?
I was playing the snares. They had the cymbals. They had the bass drum. It was dope. It was dope vibe.
Full on drumline, is what I remember. And you had the like choreography and stuff, right?
Well, they had people that taught that and set that all up. Yeah. So it was cool, man. It's one of my favorite gigs that I've done so far.
I want to know, you've been booked for the gig and then there's 3 weeks of rehearsal. How much time did you have to prepare for it, and what did the rehearsal involve? Were you in a studio and then you get to the venue? Do you get to many rehearsals at the venue?
No, the 3 weeks, there was no music. There was no, because this is all new. There's no like, oh, we're playing Beyonce's, that album, yeah, we're playing that. Everything was created there. Yeah. So when the first week of rehearsal started, the MD was like, okay, I got it. This is the music. We're going to be doing this. So that's kind of how it happened. It wasn't like you got the music before. So the 3 weeks was learning everything from the choreographer, teaching the dancers and Beyonce, and we had to correspond with them. It was this whole process. And then sometimes like if Beyonce changed her mind, like, you know what, I don't want to do that, then things had to switch around.
Start all over again.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then once we had our last rehearsal, we went out where the field was, and that was it.
Wow.
For us, we knew what we were going to do, and we literally practice exactly what we were going to do on that field. So it was what it was. We went over little things and it was like, okay, cool. And we got it. Wow. There's nothing more to it. Yeah.
And how long were those rehearsal days then for those 3 weeks?
Oh, yeah. It was like all day. You were there. Definitely I'll say at least 8 hours.
What was it like for you as a drummer in your ears? Me being a non-drummer, Jess might already know the answer to this, but I'm wondering for maybe our listeners who aren't drummers, how do you keep the rhythm? Have you got a click track? Have you got something in your ears? Like, what's happening with all of that?
We had to have in-ears. So we all got new in-ears, and we had to have that because it's so big. So the echo, you have to have in-ears in the click because the sounds were bouncing all over the place. So you had to have your in-ears in with the music and the click track. So everybody's on one accord. Yeah.
So they made you get new in-ears?
No, they've got us all new in-ears.
Wow. Nice. I mean, yeah, that's incredible. I would take that for sure.
Yeah. If you didn't want it and you had it, you felt comfortable with yours, cool. But
you might as well take the new ones, yeah.
The thing is that people may not realize in a stadium, obviously the slap back from the sound around the stadium, it's like a nightmare. So that's why you have to have the sound in your ears.
So I even tried, I took out I was like, okay, that's weird. I put it back in. And I was like, wow. That was not good. So yeah, we all had in-ears. Dancers had in-ears. Everybody had in-ears.
Crazy. Well, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. I'm sure that's just a life-changing experience. So that's amazing that you got to do that. So I guess moving into current stuff, I'm a huge fan of this artist that you've been playing with recently. You've been playing with Quinn 92.
Yeah, Quinn. Mike.
Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
Literally 3 years.
Oh, wow. It's been 3 years already?
Yeah, 3 years. It'll be 4 years next year. It's really cool when you grow with an artist that's actually going somewhere because everybody has great energy. They respect me. They appreciate me and I appreciate them. So they're like family now. And it's just crazy going from 250 people in a room to over 5,000 over this course. And it just keeps growing and growing with them. And I know he was kind of sad about not being able to properly have a tour. The whole 2020 was set. Touring, US tour, and we were going on tour with, is it AJR?
AJR, yeah. I did a tour with them last year too, yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to do that and overseas and everything was set. And then COVID happened. It was like, oh.
Right, just turns everyone's worlds upside down.
Yeah. Well, he wrote a new album to properly perform this to all of his fans all over. We did perform a couple for a drive-in show we did recently.
Oh, I saw that with like Chelsea Cutler, right?
Yes, and that was different.
Yeah, what was that like, the whole drive-in experience? I've been wondering about that.
Crazy. So you have horns, like beep, beep. Oh my God. It is different. But what people end up doing, they'll step outside their car and they can share and all that. But it was different seeing cars opposed to like a crowd of people. But I was like, okay, this is what it is right now. So honestly wasn't expecting to do any shows at all this year with Mike. Because I was like, well, how is that going to work? But we got to do, I think, a total of 5 drive-in shows, 2 in Chicago, and we did 3 other shows in a couple other cities. And it was cool. I was really happy. But then I got like my juices going. I'm like, no, this is going to be the last show. It was like, oh.
Yes.
It was in like Chicago and my hands were freezing. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, but okay.
Yeah.
We had so much fun on stage. It was great to be back with everybody. Yeah, I'm just really grateful that I was able to play and have a gig this year.
For the plans, what do you feel like for next year? Because you guys have done these drive-in shows, do you think those will be still happening next year too then for you?
I'm guessing that, this whole COVID thing and like vaccine. And I feel like that's the route that they may do. I'm sure the manager will reach out and be like, hey guys, this is what we have. And that may be it. I can't really see us on a tour bus. The thought of that makes me cringe. This just makes me cringe. Oh.
Being in the same breathing space, we're so conditioned to that. It doesn't take long to be conditioned to it, does it really?
Yeah. And people already laugh at me because people know I'm a germaphobe. I was already anal about stuff. And so they're like, oh my God, Patty, poor Patty. Patty's going to lose her mind during COVID.
This has not helped you at all.
There's a spray, it's called Air Detox, and it like has all natural ingredients. And they know. They got on the elevator. Patty, did you just come out the elevator because I smell the Air Detox? I'm like, yeah. I'm like spraying. I'm like, nope,
Your new stage outfit is like a hazmat suit, and like that's all you.
But you know what? I was wearing masks before the whole COVID thing happened. You can look at some of my videos. I have a mask on. It's like a smiley face.
Oh, I noticed that.
Yeah, and it was just a thing. I just wore a mask, and sometimes I would wear it on the plane too because I was like,
I saw a video of you with a mask on. It made me think it was current, the footage.
No, not with all those people in the crowd.
Oh yeah. That's so bizarre because I was like, oh wait, that must be recent.
That was 2018.
That's gold.
People are like, poor Patty.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you're not trying to get back on that tour bus anytime soon. You'd be like, well, if you give me my own tour bus, that's fine.
Right. Everybody gets their own tour bus.
There you go. We could go on tour, everyone. Everyone gets their own tour bus.
But yeah, playing with Mike, Quinn 92 has been amazing. I love him. I've actually turned down really big opportunities for them just because I felt like everything that shines isn't really glitter. You can go to someone that's bigger and it end up maybe a messed up situation. The management may be bad. They may not treat you good. They may have you for 3 months and like, okay, we're done,
Right.
And then I'd rather be where I know there's just the loyalty there. The business is great. The energy, everybody is amazing. I love playing with Mike and we're just family and I'm loyal to them. They're loyal to me. And I just feel like that's more important than just leaving something like that has such a great foundation for something that's quick. Oh, because you can write down, I played for such and such. No, F that.
Important advice for everyone. Follow your gut with that, I think. I'm really glad that you are that way because that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been consistent for 3 years straight. You know,
that's important.
And it's amazing. So that's the fam. When there were gaps and I was available, I would do something. I got to play with Leslie Odom.
Yeah.
At the end of last year. Amazing singer. He's freaking crazy. Yeah. Mike is my dude.
That's awesome. And I couldn't have said it any better, honestly. The way you just said, growing and it's just important to kind of follow your gut and stay with the artist that you feel like you will grow the most with. And also that you just fucking get along with and that you respect and that you like. That's so much more important if you're going to be spending all your time on the road with these people. You want to respect each other and like who you're with. So
exactly.
Perfect. Well, awesome. It's just amazing to have you on here and just chatting about all this. You've said so many really crucial and important things that people that are looking to get into this industry should definitely take note of from you. So with that being said, the last thing we have for you is a quiz.
Sorry about that.
Testing your music theory knowledge from Berklee. Here we go. Question number 1. Dogs or cats? Dogs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cats are crazy. I'm sorry. They're evil. They're so evil. Like, there may be like some sweet, but they just look at you, they'll smack you. Like, like, what? Who are you?
Yeah, where's the dog cool? Like, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Dogs love everyone all the time. Cats are like bipolar.
Yes.
I kind of like you, and then when they don't like you, they're like, what are you doing? Get away from me.
Yeah, it's like, hello? Who are you? Definitely dog.
Well,
all right. Well, that was the correct
answer, number 1.
Next question, whiskey or vodka? Or coffee or tea if you don't drink.
Okay, tea.
Oh, tea, girl. You don't like coffee?
Yeah, I'm good on coffee. I'd rather have green tea, or I'll make like matcha, or
matchas are good.
Like a nice herbal tea at night.
I'm a coffee. I'm on my 3rd espresso right now of the day. I'm talking really fast and I just don't notice. Everyone's like, why is Jess so like...
Oh my God.
Anyways, you got that question right again. Good job, Patty. So question number 3, let's see if you'll get this one right. Beach or snow?
Definitely beach.
Oh, wrong answer. It's okay.
Wrong.
Beach.
Negative. No, we like the beach. We do like the beach.
Here's the thing. It makes sense because, Patty, you're from the East Coast. You're from Connecticut. So you probably really dislike cold weather because you grew up with it.
Done with it. Oh my God. Like the black ice, like cleaning off your car with all the snow and shoveling the sun. Hell, I'm done with snow.
Anyone who's lived in snow says that. They're like, no, definitely beach. But we're like, oh.
It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to like Christmas and like this time of the season, snow is beautiful to see. It just makes you feel all in the spirit and all that. But other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, you're a full California girl now, I feel like. Don't bring me back to that snow.
And you are entitled to your own opinion. I mean, but some answers are right and some are wrong. So
it's fine. You still, so far, got 2 out of 3 right. So here we go.
All right, next question is, would you prefer to be the headline or an opener, or playing with, I guess?
Headline, for sure. You get treated differently.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
But I will say this, because CeeLo, we were opening up for Lionel Richie. He's classic.
God.
Classic. Hits all over the place.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. It was such a high-end gig. So it didn't feel like we were openers. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Obviously, the crowd is bigger when Lionel hit the stage, but it was lit. There was food out for us. It was amazing. It was high-end. Bar was set high.
That's huge to open for Lionel. And then you're probably also playing a pretty long set, I would imagine, because I'm sure it was just CeeLo and Lionel for that. So were you still playing at least 45 minutes to an hour maybe for your set?
Oh, yeah. It was definitely an hour.
Yeah, proper.
I think Lionel was like 2. He's so cool. I said, okay, Lionel, I see you. You got a little smooth move to you. I see you. I was like, okay.
A ladies' man, huh? Smooth Lionel Richie.
I love it.
Oh, God.
Great. Oh, that's incredible. Oh, man. All right. Last question of the quiz. What do you have on your rider?
Well, it's definitely switched, because before I love red wine. So they all knew to have Malbec, some type of red blend on the rider. I love the watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, yeah.
There was almond butter and wheat bread and strawberry jam and pistachios. Oh, booty popcorn. Yeah, booty popcorn is so good. Yeah, bananas.
That's always
good. I don't eat like cheese and all that anymore, and like processed meat. You know, like the cheese and crackers with the salami. Oh, I always had to drink like sugar-free Red Bull before the show. Yeah.
I did too. I always used to have a sugar-free Red Bull level before I played.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah, but that kind of switched to now like matcha. Now it's like I'm a little bit more bougie because I don't eat what I used to eat before. So it's like, oh, can you have like unsalted pistachios and can you have organic green tea? It's just really different now.
Yeah.
It's like, can you get the strawberry raw bars from Trader Joe's?
Totally. I mean, that just comes with age too. Like I've been doing this as you have as well for a long time. You don't want to be eating shit when you're on the road anymore. Your body just feels it. Oh, I need to be getting healthy options so I'm not feeling shit, especially before you go on stage.
I just changed my whole lifestyle of eating anyway, so I don't eat that anymore.
Are you vegetarian now or anything like that? Or
I just feel like I do what's right for my body. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat chicken. I stay away from the processed meats. No dairy. But if there's a situation where I am craving a slice of pizza from a place and they don't have the kind of vegan cheese that I like, I will just have a slice of pizza with the regular cheese. But that's like 5%. Mostly it's 95% is vegan cheese for the most part.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm just not overdoing anything. I don't drink milk. I just stay away from bad stuff that's not good for me. And it's really been amazing. I feel great doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Exactly. But speaking of riders, because you did bring this up real quick, what do you use? So you can shout out your companies that you have on your rider that you're endorsed by.
Sabian, DW, and Vader.
Oh my God, we are literally the same companies, all of them. That's so great. I love it. So double shout out to all those companies. We've got the same drum rider. And then I guess now I'll start copying some things on your healthy food rider as well. That good. Amazing. Well, Patty, thank you again so much for doing this. For everyone that's listening so they can follow you on social media, do you want to give like maybe your Instagram or whatever handles that you feel like you're the most active on so people can like follow what you're up to and keep up with you?
My IG, it's pretty much my name. It's Patty with a Y, Ann with an E, Miller like the beer. Patty Ann Miller. So it's PattyAnne Miller. And that's pretty much across the board. Facebook, IG, Twitter. My website is Patty Miller. Yep. So that's where you can find me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you again so much for doing this. It was so great chatting with you. And we'll have to jam soon.
Yeah.
And you can teach me a few of your tricks.
Thank you guys for having me. I really, really enjoyed it. This was so much fun, guys. I really appreciate you.
Oh, yeah. Yay. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Patty. Absolutely loved hearing the insides of the industry. And yeah, really awesome to chat with you. Can't wait to have a drink with you at some stage.
Absolutely. That'd be great. I can't wait to be able to be social again. That'd be awesome.